You know, a lot of people struggle with putting because they're standing over the ball and they're thinking about, oh, I've got to stroke it like this and grip it like that. And your mind is thinking so many things that you forget to focus on the most important thing, which is the target. I'm going to give you a technique in this video that will help you focus on the target and the target alone, and it'll help you make more putts. Let's go. So I see so many people when I'm playing golf who are struggling. They get over the ball and they're worried about, oh, do I have a loop in my backswing? So they're worried about a loop, like, do I take it out here and come back like that? Or some people are worried about, oh, I'm coming inside like this. And they're worried about making those kind of mistakes, or they're worried about, oh, I want to make sure that I don't release my wrist too early or flip my wrist. And you're thinking about all of those things and you miss the important part, which is being focused on the target. And I'm going to tell you this, and I've done videos on the channel and posted content before, that it doesn't matter if your backswing goes like this with the loop. You can make figure eights in your putting stroke. The stroke is really, and it matters, but it's really not nearly as important as at that micro millisecond when this touches the golf ball. Is this face square and perfectly aimed at the target? If it is, the ball goes in the hole. In fact, you want to know how important this is? Paul Wilson, who's the teaching pro at Bears Best here in Las Vegas, does this drill with his students when he's teaching them to putt, where he tells them, wiggle the putter head all over the place in the backstroke. In fact, I'll show you that now. So to help folks understand focusing on the target, Paul Wilson has his students get out on the golf course 12 or 15 feet from the hole, and he has them think about the target and then says, just for practice and for fun, do this when you're warming up or practicing. Wiggle the putter head all over the place. You can zig it and zag it and etc. and then make a stroke. That was pretty close to the hole. Let's do another one. You just wiggle and waggle all over the place. And that was pretty close to the hole. Be nice if John would make one, huh? But again, this is practice. And the point is, all of this back here gets you, your mind focuses on the important thing, which is rolling the ball to the target. Good. The point of that exercise, and you only do that on the practice green, is for you to train your brain two things. One is, that doesn't matter what's going on and all of that, so you don't focus on that. And if you're doing that when you're practicing, your mind knows the goal is to roll the ball in the hole, and so your brain recenters you and focuses you as you make the stroke to square the putter face to the target line. If you'll practice that, it'll help you a lot. But then, that's on practice. When you're actually on the green, there's two parts of the putt. One is reading the green and picking a target. The second is actually rolling the putt into the hole. So now I'm going to give you my process, my walkthrough for how I do that when I'm actually playing a hole. So I have this putt. Now the first part is reading a green, and the purpose of reading the green is to pick a target. So this putt's a little bit uphill. It's 20-something feet or so. I'll step it off for you in a minute and tell you how many feet it is. Looking at the distance, I always check the line right around the hole. All right, I've got a pretty good idea what I think it's going to do. And so I'm picking a target. I don't know, Miss Camera Lady, if you want to come down here and zoom in.
Just zoom in?
No, just walk all the way down here. So This putt is kind of left edge, and I've picked a little piece of grass right there. And my target for this putt is not that piece of grass, but just inside of it, right there. So I have that for my target line. I'm through reading the green. I've got my read. Now it's time to putt. I start behind the ball, and my mind is thinking, I'm not thinking about the stroke, about lunch after this round. I'm not thinking about the beverage cart girl. The only thing I'm thinking about, focusing my mind on and seeing that target. I don't see anything else. My mind is on that. I step up, set my putter down, and I'm going through my routine, and all these things are important. But at this point, target only. All I can see in my mind is the target. One last look at the hole so my brain can process the distance. Look back at the target, look back at the ball, keep seeing the target, make the stroke. Here's why this target-focused putting works. Your brain is incredibly good at accomplishing a task if you just give it a mental focus. The problem is we get over the putt and we put in all these other thoughts. Oh, I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, and don't do that, and don't do that. And you should never have those, because your brain, your subconscious doesn't process a negative. So if you're telling yourself, don't do this, don't do that, your subconscious is focused on that and thinking about doing that. Causes you to miss a lot of putts and mess up a lot in other areas in golf. So simply focus on the target. Trust your brain to do that. Think about it this way. You wake up tomorrow morning and you go through your house, and the kids or grandkids left Legos in the floor, and you don't want to step on those because they hurt, and you don't want to trip over the dog toy or whatever. Well, your brain doesn't, you don't stop and think while you're walking across the floor, oh, there's a Lego, let me stop, step over here, go. You don't live like that. You just walk, because your brain knows how to do that. And you say, oh, John, that's not a good analogy because walking is natural. No, walking is not natural. You learned how to do that. Your body now knows how to walk, and it just gets you around the obstacles and to where you want to go, as long as you see the obstacles and don't miss them and trip over them. Same thing with putting. It's not natural, but you learn to do that. You've got a stroke. Maybe your stroke isn't perfect. I don't care. Maybe your stroke has some issues. I don't care. Yeah, those things are important and you can fix them. But when you're on the golf course, you want to make more putts right now, focus on the target, and trust that your brain will move this tool in a way that gets this face pointed straight at that target and it goes in. And to show you how well that works, gosh, I hope this works, I'm going to have my camera person, Kim, make some putts, and I'm going to tell her she's never putted. She might have you ever played putt-putt? She's never even played putt-putt. She's shaking her head and telling me. Not a golfer. I'm going to give her my putter that's way too long for her, a couple of balls, and just have her walk through this routine. Let's see how she does. I guarantee you, we hadn't practiced or rehearsed this. She's scared to death and camera shy, so a lot of thoughts are going to be in her head. Guarantee you she'll do fairly well just from using this technique. So see those pieces of grass hanging down in the back of the hole? I want you to think about that, nothing else. Roll the ball off those. Putting's not hard, is it?
No.
So a lot of times on short putts like this, people who really focus on the target will make the putt without looking at the ball, just looking at the hole. I'm okay with that, but that's not comfortable for me. That's awkward. And I did at that time. I set the putter down, never even looked at the ball, just stared at the hole, at the target. If that works for you, do it. But something I will do a lot of times, if you'll come around here with the camera. All right, so this putt, I think, breaks slightly to the right, but I don't want to give the hole away. So if I were picking a target, an aiming point, come around here with the camera so you can see this. Right here in the back of the cup, there's this lighter color of dirt and a piece of grass like hanging down into the hole. That's just right of the center of the cup. and I think the putt breaks that way a little bit. So I'm going to make that my aiming target. That's what I'm thinking about as I line up on this putt, and I focus on that. I'm not giving away the hole, and let's see how that works out for me. So that's my focus target, and I started it at that point. It turned a little bit right and dropped in the right center of the cup. Exactly what I wanted. So target focus putting, two things. When you're out on the practice green, put a ball down, and you can use multiple balls if you want to. And when you're making your strokes on the practice green, you might do 24 or 25 of these. Wiggle the putter head all over the place. Do whatever. Make figure eights. Do whatever you want to do, and then make your stroke, thinking about stroking the ball towards the hole. After you've done that, then set up with your normal stroke and focus on target only, target only. Don't think about your grip. Don't think about your stance. Let all of that come natural, and let your brain communicate to your body and your hands and arms how to roll the ball at your target. And then do that on the golf course. Make a read, and in that read, pick a target, whether that's a spot in the back of the hole or an intermediate point along your target line or a spot just outside the... Pick a target, focus your mind only on that target. The smaller a target you pick, the better. It's the old, saying from shooting and shooting sports, aim small, miss small. That's true. Pick a tiny target, roll the ball at that target. You'll make more, your misses will be closer, which means you'll have less three putts. Try this. And by the way, if you like golf tips like this, then give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Share it with your friends. And until next time, here's to you making more putts.